Hello, everybody, and welcome to this month's episode of the Butterfly Princess Show Book Club. This month, I'm going to be discussing the book Hothouse Flower by Lucinda Riley. So I'm going to be telling you a bit about what the book is about, and then I'll be telling you my views on the book and what I thought about it. And then afterwards, when I've uploaded this video to my social media platforms, Facebook, YouTube, and everything else, I will share a link with you all uh, where you can get the book on BorrowBox, which is I've always said is a free app. All you need is a library card, and you have access to thousands of ebooks, audio books, and e-magazines from all different genres and all different subjects. So this month, talking about Hothouse Flower by Lucinda Riley. So this is a book that is about the main protagonist is a late woman called Julia Forrester, who is dealing with the loss of her husband and young son from who sadly passed away as a result of being in a car accident. And Julia is at a loss because she feels that and she's at a loss and she's very much grieving, but and she's a very talented pianist, very talented piano player, and she plays a lot of the music of classical music composers such as Rachmaninoff, Liszt, and Chopin. Um, this is Julia, and to add to her woes, she discovers that a manor house, an estate, by the name of Wharton Park in Norfolk is being sold by the latest owner of the Crawford family. The Wharton Park has been owned for many generations by the Crawford family, but now it's being sold by the latest Lord Crawford called Kit, Christopher, but he's called Kit. And she's very unhappy about that being so, because she spent many happy childhood years in that house, visiting that estate, because her grandparents worked there. Her grandmother Elsie was a lady in waiting to a former Lady Crawford, and her grandfather was the gardener of Wharton Park, where he tended a lot to a lot of flowers, orchids, and stuff. So, but it's also setting another time period. We also meet in the 1940s, the time leading up to the Second World War. We meet the Lord Harry Crawford, who is going to be the next Lord Crawford of Wharton Park after his father dies. Now, he marries a young girl called Olivia Drew Norris, but he's not in love with Olivia Drew Norris. He feels that he has to marry her into as a sense of duty. So anyway, Harry and Bill are called up to national service in the war. They served the country in the Second World War, but they become Japanese prisoners of war, POWs, and they spend a lot of time in the Changi jail, which is like, it's very deeply affecting them. And during that when Harry is released from Changi jail in Thailand, he meets a girl, a Thai girl called Lydia, and they fall in love. But and Olivia and Harry promises that he will return to Lydia and they will have a happy life together. But unfortunately, fate gets in the way. So on returning to England from the war, Harry discovers that his father is in very poor health and is on his deathbed. So then, after his father's death, he becomes the lord of the manor, so he cannot return to Thailand to be with Lydia. So, but then because he's so upset, he sends Bill Stafford to Thailand to try and find this Lydia and explain why Harry can't return because of his sense of duty. And during that time, Harry, Bill Stafford sort of discovers, finds Lydia and discovers that she's had a little baby called Jasmine. Now, Lydia at this time is very ill from giving birth to Jasmine, and she feels at that time she can't give birth, look after Jasmine, so she entrusts um, gives the baby to Bill in the hope that she will be raised by her father, Lord Harry Crawford. Now, at this time, his wife, Harry's wife, Olivia, is also pregnant, but unfortunately, she loses the baby, and her baby, dies shortly after coming into the world. But unbeknown to Lydia, up until many years later, um, Bill and his wife Elsie, who have like been the making waiting and the gardener of Wharton Park, have been trying for the children for many years, but unfortunately they couldn't have any children. So they adopt Jasmine as their own, and she is brought up as their daughter. And many years later, she gives birth um, to Julia, the main protagonist, and and so they discuss. And many years later, when the Wharton Park is being sold, so Julia returns to Wharton Park along with her sister Alicia, and she comes across the young comes across Kit Crawford after meeting 20 years prior when they were children, and they are sort of drawn together through their love of Wharton Park and discovering Harry Crawford's old diary, and it's only Elsie who can tell them about the past and Julia's past, and it's a very upsetting and sad past, but one in the end that brings joy and happiness to all the characters within the story. So that is the story in a nutshell, really. So I'm now going to discuss my thoughts, and like there are some spoilers in this, so I would recommend that if you maybe want to read the book yourselves before watching this episode, or you just want to get a bit of a taste of what this book is about to inspire you to read it. So I love Lucinda Riley as well. I think she's a fantastic author. This is the first standalone novel of hers that I've read. I've up to now I've read two of her Seven Sisters series books. Now they are also very good, but I think from reading the first of her, I think reading one of her standalone novels for the very first time makes her an overall very good writer as a whole, because Lucinda Riley is very good at setting her stories in exotic places. So, for example, we have various settings, such as in this story, we have the settings of Norfolk, and then we have the exotic setting of Thailand. And she's very good at setting her stories in multi time periods. So here we have the modern time period, but then we also travel back in time to 1940s Thailand, and seeing the different generations of Crawfords that have owned the Wharton Park throughout many years. And I'm not a flower person. I'm not really into gardening and stuff, but I felt like I felt really drawn to the story of the orchids, especially the there's a story at the beginning, a bit of a fable really, about the story of a black orchid. Who is This tells the story of a Thai prince who wants to give his new bride, his new princess bride, a very rare black orchid, and so he sends his servants out to find this rare black orchid. But there's a lot of treachery and things like that. And I think the story of the orchids and the plants is really quite mythic. It's a really quite of a magical and mythical theme. And in regards to themes of the story as well, because she got Lucinda Riley does does explore some various themes within Hothouse Flower. For example, she explores the theme of where is home and belonging, because there is a really significant quote that really stands out to me. It was when I was reading the book, and that is a quote that says that came from Julia, the main protagonist of the book, which is when she discovers her true heritage, which I won't give too much of that away in case you decide to read the book for yourself. But there's a quote in the book where Julia says, Wharton Park doesn't belong to us, we belong to it. So and it, and it, and I thought that was a really nice quote to sort of tie in with the theme of what is home, and where do we belong, and also the theme, and also the theme of belonging, because as we read the book, we understand that, you know, Jasmine, the mother of Julia, is adopted, so she isn't brought up by her birth mother and a biological father. She's brought up by her adoptive parents, Bill and Elsie. But we also learn throughout the book that um, that um, El that Julia's older sister Alicia has also been adopted. So there are a few um a few heart-wrenching themes that are explored in the book. Also, the characters. I thought that some of the characters were really strong. I thought that the protagonist Julia was a really strong character, but because even though she'd gone through a lot of heartache and hardship in her life, losing a darling young son and being at a loss where she feels that she can't rediscover her love of classical music and her love of playing the piano because they bring too many painful memories back to the forefront of her mind. But she is a strong character in relation to that because throughout later on in the book, she discovers that she can be a strong person and she can get back to the things that she loved. And I also like the character of Kit because he was also a flawed character as well. As you will realise when you read the book, and that Julia and Kit sort of drawn together. I think because they are in a sense broken, and they feel that by becoming together as a couple, as a partnership, they can rediscover their loves for each other, and also the love that they had for Wharton Park and classical music. Um, and Harry Crawford, like I say, it must have been very hard in them days. I know this is a work of fiction, but it must have been very hard in them days for um, owners of, big mansion houses, one having this sense to marry for as a sense of duty, not for love. But I do feel sorry. I did feel a bit sorry for Olivia because I did feel that she had a very hard bargain because she lost the two children and but I do feel that there are a lot of comparisons that can be drawn from Julia to between Julia and Olivia because they have discovered, both losses through the losses of children and and so they are strong characters in their own right of the different periods in which they lived in. And also, another character is that I was, well, not particularly drawn to, but I felt that it was a really good comparison that Lucinda Riley drew was the character of Xavier, the first husband of Julia, which is we discover he's come back from the dead. But I felt that he is a very selfish character, very self-absorbed. He doesn't care about Julia or his dead son. He just wants to, get as much media coverage. And, he's a very self-centered, heartless man, I feel. So that concludes this month's episode of the Butterfly Princess Show Book Club. As I said, I will be sharing the link to the book on Barrow Box so you can, listen to it or read it yourself. And I hope that I've inspired you to read the book for yourself. And join me next month for the next episode of the Butterfly Princess Show. Remember that these episodes are recorded and brought to you on the last Sunday of every month. So the next episode of the Butterfly Princess Show Book Club will be will be coming to you on the 30th of June. So until then, have a lovely rest of the month, and I will see you very soon. Bye bye.